All right, everyone, here we are. Thank you so much for being on this call. This is the Women Creating Wealth call with Nikken. It is no, it isn't. It's September the 26th, Julie, 2018. I should know. I just had a birthday. And by the way, I had a great birthday and I wore all my products and did over 10 miles of hiking up at 11,000 feet. So I was very proud of myself. And I could never have done that without Nikken products, having had a back injury and many other things. So I feel so grateful for our technologies all the time. And I know you do too. And that's the main reason we get so excited about this. And then the second reason is we can build a business with these amazing technologies. So that's great. And we are really on a rise. I'm sure you are noticing that a lot's going on out in the Nikken world. I just came across a great new video that Dave just put out, Dave Johnson, on the new Nikken plan and how to move forward. And that was exciting. And you almost can't keep up with everything. And we did have a wonderful event just this last weekend over in California. I believe it was in Walnut Creek. And we had about 100 participants and we had about 40 guests, which is a great ratio. That's kind of what we want to see at these events, is a huge amount of guests at the events, because it's all about sharing and word of mouth. And so having guests is critical for us to grow our businesses. And so what I would love, we have a lot to cover today on other topics too, but I would love just a brief description really of how it felt to be there and what happened. And I'm first going to ask Randy Rolfe. Randy, I know you were at this event. You were very excited. We chatted the other day. Tell us just a little bit what you loved about it.
Well, it was amazing. It was really well organized, went bing, 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 bing. And we heard wonderful testimonials from Chris Bruce, who was the MC. And they started out, Mei Jin quickly introduced everybody, and then they went through all the packs with great stories. Barbara was there and she did the water pack and told her wonderful story. The testimonials were just blow you away and so amazing. And Dr. Jackson gave the story of his wife, who 15 years didn't have any energy, and now she was there and moving around like a regular person. And so the testimonials were great. The presentations, the quick PowerPoints on each of the packs. I loved it, really focusing on the packs. And I did a little piece on the nutrition packs, and then Mei Jin did one on the bone health pack, as well as the key packs, the energy, sleep, and the water that Barbara covered. And then more in the afternoon was more about the business. Gary Lindner did his wonderful
self-care
demonstration on the need. And one of his downline, who's a PT person and a Ironman, she gave an amazing demo, just showing our normal demos, but of course it's always good to be reminded how those work and how to present them. And then Dave Johnson was there, Dave Rolfe was there. They just shared their always inspiring ideas. And then Kurt ended the event, and he was so excited because there were so many guests there and they were really impressed, and they all stayed the whole day, 9 to 4. So that was great. And he really emphasized that you got to find the right people to partner with, and lots of customers, but finding those leaders in your group. So it was a great day, and biggest event in California in a long, long time. And so I'm so happy that Gary Lindner's a Royal Diamond now. He's taken up the cloth for that, and it was just really, really inspiring. And I wish I'd had some guests there, but it was about 2 hours away and I didn't. But
thanks, Randy.
But Mei Jin did. She had lots.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm so thrilled you're there. So let's go to Maya Scott Chung. Are you there? Can you give us your overview just briefly? Maya, you're going to have
Hi, everybody.
Yeah,
can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, it was really amazing. It's the first Nikken event that I've been at in 15 years. As Julie knows, I was a gold in Julie's line. 20 years ago and left for a variety of reasons and came back with a very amazing experience with the Nikken Cocoon in January. And I was there with my very best friend, Sister Isa, who's on the line, and my mother-in-law, Teresa, who came to really check out the business and the product, and Davon, who used to be my downline, is my upline. It was amazing. It was very incredible. The products, it was great to see all the product demos, and it was a very intergenerational, multiracial, multilingual group that made me feel really confident that I could help to rebuild the Bay Area and have, my communities there. So I was very inspired.
That's awesome, Maya. Thank you. I'm so thrilled you were there with Issa and others. It's great. I know you're going for silver, so we're excited about that. And we're here to help. I'm going to go now to Barbara Pucci. Barbara, I think you were at this event. Am I correct?
Yes. It was amazing. And the leaders coming together and working collaboratively. It really went off well. I'm not sure if the raffle had everybody stay till the very end, but they were gifting some things. And then also we had a gift for the person who brought the most guests, and Dr. Chung won that, which was great. But it was really for the guests. And I think that it really showed just what we are so great at, right? Is giving the gift of life, of energy, and the testimonies were phenomenal, and great synergy. Really awesome.
Wonderful. I heard you were amazing. I already heard the feedback. You were rocking it. Great.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I loved it.
Love it, Barbara. I'm so excited. So more of these all over the world gets us really on fire. So thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. And so I'm going to move on to some things I've been learning to share with you all. So thanks for muting. And let's see. Put on gallery view. I'm sort of shifting views here a little bit for us so that when you get the video, you can see the people speaking.
And just to share with you, in the chat, there's a question around this event. Just asking how people invited, email, phone.
Gosh. Maybe what we could do with that question is you could put it down. You could write your way you did it onto our Women Creating Wealth chat place on Facebook, our group, or on the WhatsApp. I would like that. That would be great because it's a good question, a really, really important question. So everybody will have their own ways. So let's do it that way. And okay, I'm gonna move forward and let's see. Why? Okay, I don't know why I'm not showing up on the speaker view. I've got Barbara there showing up on the speaker view, but she's not speaking. So how is that? I don't know what is going on with that. So there's a couple of things. One of them is, okay, please put you back on mute if you are not on mute.
I'm just going to say we are seeing you when you speak.
Oh, you are? It's not weird, so it's bizarre. Okay, never mind. It's just to help with the videos. And so a couple of things that I wanted to share. One, I'm going to share very briefly, and then I'm going to really go into the meat of this. And that is somebody gave me a website the other day, and I found it very interesting. It was about a gentleman who does a certain kind of coaching, and he calls it purpose mapping, purposemapping.com. So you can look this up really easily. And there was a half-an-hour video about really aligning yourself with your purpose and how to do it in certain quadrants. And I'm going to really encourage you to do it because I did it twice. I did it one day in the evening, and then I went back the next day and I did it all again. And I have like a ton of notes on it. I've written it in one of my journal books here, written it out big. But one of the key things was that it was about stepping into flow and how to be in flow. And we know that when we're in flow, we're really effective. And I didn't know how effective, but he says that executives perform 500% more when they're in flow. 500%. And I was blown away by that. And that the key is that it's an activation of pushing yourself a little bit forward only by 4%. Pushing yourself forward by 4% over your normal activity, your normal way of doing things, beyond the norm, and that is just doing that and moving it directionally toward your purpose and your strengths is really the key. So those are really interesting numbers to me. 500% more performance, and only by pushing ourselves 4% more. So I really wanted to encourage you to do this. It won't take you that long unless you really want to think deeply about it, which I did. So it took me longer, I'll be honest. But I wanted to do this because it worked on your essence, your strengths, your downfall. What is your downfall? What do you do in downfall? And what is your shadow? What are the things that we don't like to own about ourselves? And that the gift, the greatest gold is in your shadow. So it's very important to understand our shadow so we can extract the gold from the shadow and move that up through our strengths and into developing a real clear understanding of our purpose. When we are on purpose, we are powerful. There is no question. Every human being, when they're on purpose, are very, very powerful, and we get results in life. So that's why I want to encourage you to do that. And then the next thing I wanted to chat with you a little bit about is this. I think some of you know I mentioned, because I put out the notification on it, about Sonia Stringer. She started a new business academy for women in network marketing. And I've always really enjoyed Sonia Stringer. I just resonate with her very, very well. I love Eric Worre too, and I love Richard Brooke. But for me, Sonia Stringer just has it going on. And so I joined her business academy, and I have been loving it. And I have to tell you that already I've had people inquiring about Nikken's products, even though they're in other network companies. It's just fascinating. So I've already had people saying, do you think it could help this? Do you think it could help that? And so that's just, I didn't even expect that. But the first module she did, well, there were 6 modules to this first topic, is what I want to touch on, because it blew me away. And I almost felt like crying. I almost feel like crying right now, because I thought, if I had understood this in the years I've done network marketing, oh my gosh, not only for myself, but for my team. So I'm going to cover a few points, and this is my big new book on, and I always write because it helps me ground information, because I'm so kinesthetic. And I have like 5 pages on this subject. So obviously I'm not going to cover it all. I want to give you a few bullet points of things that I think are huge for us. She said, number 1, that this first topic is action is the key to your success. We've got to get into action. And how to build an activity muscle was the key of this whole module section. So that you move your business into momentum. She said, action is everything. It's everything. It's a numbers game. And if you connect with enough people, you will win. You will win. You will make sales. You will recruit people. Success is the numbers game, and you just have to take more shots. So she said, the number 1 reason most women don't yet have the business and income that they want yet is that they just aren't taking enough consistent action, because they're avoiding rejection. And it's costing them a lot in lost opportunity and money. Many women know what to do to get the business going, but are they doing it? That's the question. How would you rate your level of activity, 1 to 10? So you could think about that. What if you could train yourself to love taking action, to feel as easy as tying your shoes? What if you doubled your activity in the next month? What if your team doubled their activity too? This is very simple, but you have to do it. The breakthrough comes from practicing it, not knowing it. You see, we all know how to do Nikken. We all know how to do it. It's the doing of it. So the topic, so the psychology of taking action was the big aha for me, was really huge. Was that the brain, she talked about the brain, the neocortex, the conscious logical mind, the limbic system, the subconscious emotional mind, and the thinking intellect analysis is part of the neocortex, and that makes decisions. And the limbic system is the key, the limbic system. And then there's the reptilian complex as well. So the limbic system is what she focused on, the emotional mind, the part that makes decisions and inspires actions. And she said the two main emotions that inspire action are pain and pleasure. We avoid pain and we move towards pleasure. Seems pretty obvious. Automatic, it's very subconscious. We're wired to move away from pain. And we have an innate guidance system. We're also wired to naturally move towards pleasure. If you link pain to a specific action, you avoid it. If you link pleasure to a specific action, you do it. Now, so this is sort of the key. So what happens, we push ourselves and we get rejected because there's a certain amount of rejection in the business. And of course, because we know not everyone's going to say yes, and then we find that it becomes painful, and then we literally train our brain to not go into action. I hope you can kind of see that, how that is. So, you know, we get inspired or we get frustrated enough and we set big goals, and we get into actions and we push ourselves and we try to do more. And then the experience, we get a lot of challenge, we get rejection. So the process becomes painful and the nervous system says, this is just too painful, slow down. So the willpower isn't enough if you're linking pain to the process. So we slow down and then we avoid, and then we beat ourselves up, and then we rinse and repeat. Can you relate? I can relate. I was like, oh, I can relate. It's typical. And she said something interesting. She said, when men get rejected, they assume the person's rejecting the offer. When women get rejected, they make the connection that you're rejecting them, that person, the prospect, is rejecting you. So it's different. Men and women are a little differently wired this way. So men don't take it so internally when we get rejected, when they get rejected, but we do. So this is big. She says, you know, your subconscious mind records everything. So if I can do this, and this is easy, there's pleasure, there's activity. So what she says is you make activity your number one goal. Your number one goal. You set yourself daily activity. You start slow to go fast. This is how to build a muscle. And so the mental programming is you lower the bar until something becomes really, really, really easy, because once it's really, really easy, and she talks about athletes and stuff, then when they lower the bar, they're like, I know I can do this. Like, I know I can call 5 people today, or I know I can call 1 person today to connect with them. Then when it becomes easy and you do it repetitiously, the brain says, this is easy, it's pleasurable, and that therefore there's more activity. So she says, if you focus on and celebrate the action, not the results, the action becomes magic. And the only thing we have control over in our business is the amount of action we take every day. So she said, set your goals like we all teach, you know, set your goals for the next 90 days, the next 30 days, your volume goals, your new business partners, your qualifying for new ranks or incentives, you know, a realistic but exciting goal for you. And then what actions will help you achieve your goal, you know, and you figure that out. And here's the key thing. You've got to experience a sense of winning. You have to. If we're not winning the game, we tend to lose interest. If we're not winning the game, we tend to lose interest. This is very important to understand how the brain works with winning. I was like, oh my gosh, as human beings, winning is very important to us. And so most network marketers set up the game so it's hard to win, because they put winning equals results. So you're only winning when you're making sales, rank advancing, recruiting new people, and making money. And so we're very focused on and attached to those results. And this does not help us. This does not help us. Because when we're achieving the results, we feel great. But there's a big problem. Many times you won't make sales, you won't rank advance, you won't recruit new people, and you won't make money. And so if you're super attached to the results, you're setting yourself up to be disappointed. And if that's the only way you feel like you're winning in your business, you will be disappointed, and then you're going to lose interest because you're not winning. So there is a much smarter strategy. And this is, I'm like so excited for all of us. I'm just like leaping inside my heart about this. So expand your definition of winning to include action plus learning, personal growth, serving others, and activity. If you do all this, the results will come. Pay more attention to these things and less attention to the results. Focus on and celebrate these aspects of your business. The results will take care of themselves. And this is the key point, is celebration. For us to celebrate every single action, no matter what the result, to celebrate, and you retrain your brain. More importantly, you'll enjoy the process of building your business even more. You'll experience a much greater sense of winning right now. And then the results will come in organically as a byproduct of all that. So I'm sure you can get what's happening with this. So you focus on and you track your actions and your wins. What you focus on expands, and what you acknowledge and celebrate becomes automatic behavior. And this is really key, she said, for all of us, that, you know, our prospecting and sponsoring, that is automatic behavior. Our connecting with others about what we have is automatic behavior. So using some kind of an action tracker, she has one in that model in her business school. What actions did I take today? What am I learning today? How am I changing and developing as a person today? Who am I helping today by introducing them to the products or the business? How am I winning in my business? The process will be a lot more fun and you'll feel more inspired. You'll follow through and take the action necessary to build your business. And just as a byproduct, over time, the results that you're after will start to occur. This is one of the simplest and most important habits we can develop as an entrepreneur. I'm going to say that again. This is one of the simplest and most important habits we can develop as an entrepreneur. And please forgive me for reading this, but it's too important and I don't want to get it wrong. So, rewards equals automatic activity. Use positive reinforcement to grow your activity muscle. If taking action causes us pain, frustration equals rejection, we automatically start to avoid it. So our nervous system reacts. It's a protection mechanism. We have to change that programming. So we want to understand it is a protection mechanism. And the exact opposite is if taking action makes us feel good. If taking action makes us feel good, either physically or emotionally, we automatically do it again. We automatically do it again. The power of positive reinforcement. She talked a lot about this. It's all about rewarding the behavior you want to make automatic. With repetition and consistency, performance becomes great. Most times when we take action in business, we're not rewarded with results, and then we can feel pain. So I'm repeating some here. It's frustrating. We beat ourselves up. We like kicking a dog if it doesn't do a trick. And then we train ourselves to stop taking action. That's not good. The women judge ourselves very harshly. Evidence is training with negative reinforcement is bad for relationships, dogs, you know, we've seen all those kind of things. So reward the action you want to take. Reward yourself for actions. And this is where you reward yourself consistently. Daily action plan, you take your action and you reward yourself as soon as possible. Self-acknowledgement, whatever it is. She said, you know, take yourself out for a cup of coffee, give yourself a treat, take a short break, have some fun. I'll probably be dancing around the, you know, sitting room because that makes me feel happy. And that's a reward for me. So winning, even if, especially if in a way, no results. So she says, even if you get results, or especially if there are no results, that is where you really celebrate as much, because the results are the icing on the cake, the icing on the cake. So weekly or monthly actions, come up with bigger weekly or monthly rewards. So the reward is for action, not results, becomes more automatic, And so she talked about herself and her own experience. She used to work with Tony Robbins, and she had to make 100 calls a day, 4 days in a row. And I've done that also when I worked in Holistic Healthcare magazine that I had. I was the advertising manager, and I would just make myself make those 400 calls a day. And you can once you get in the habit of it, you know. So become the person who takes action. Tap into your inner superwoman. Every day brings the opportunity to practice. Become more of who you already are. And then organically, your business improves. Be an action taker. And then she reminds us again, my actions today. Track your actions and your wins daily. My actions today were this. This is what I'm learning or what I learned. This is how I'm growing or how I grew. This is who I'm helping with the products or the business, not other things, but specifically products or business. And this is how I'm winning. This is how I'm winning. And this is how I'm rewarding myself. So the purpose is to notice, to track, and to celebrate what you're doing in your business on a regular basis so that this behavior can become automatic. This will keep you consistent. And she said, and in 30 days, you'll have a breakthrough. In 30 days, you'll have a breakthrough. Because we know it takes 21 days, you know, to change a habit. Now, I have to tell you, I was so moved by this. I was like, I know this because I know that women's soccer players, when they were playing the World Cup, the coach gave them positive reinforcement every single day, every single night. The coach would put good little messages on there. You did great today with this, and that was fantastic. And they did really well because male coaches for men tell them, what's the matter with you? Pick yourself up, you know, do it better. You can do that. And they thrive with that often. Because you see, they don't take it so personally like it's about themselves. They just take it that it's about a skill. But with us, we're different. We're wired so differently. And we do get, and I know for myself, I get very disheartened. Like, why don't people want to hear what I have to say? Or why aren't they trusting me? Or you name it, I'll go into nobody likes me. And what's the matter? And maybe this isn't for me and all that kind of stuff. And I know you do too. I'm sure. We all go there. Yes.
I just want to make a comment to give another perspective. So I've been taking action and making calls and going to networking events like I shared with you and meeting new people. And yes, they're in the process, yet there are none of those, quote, tangible results like you mentioned with a sign up or a product sale. So I noticed that I started sinking and that I'm not doing something right or there's something wrong here, therefore not wanting to continue to reach out. Rather than celebrating, look what I've done, and who knows where the next person will come from. So I am embracing everything you've shared, and I am taking it to heart to take this 30-day challenge, and I would like to invite everyone on this call to do the same thing, because we can turn this around and honor who we are and what we do, and then evolve into creating those other results. So thank you very much for this call.
You're so welcome, Barbara. I mean, like I say, it was a revelation to me. I would never heard it before, but when I sort of heard it before, but never like this, not packaged this way. And, you know, I just thought, I know this about our brains, but I really think I can override my brain with my will. And she says, really, you can't. You got to train or retrain your brain. And that just, I was like, wow, so yeah, I'm not as powerful to override my brain just by saying, but I know this is a good thing. I know this is a good thing because the brain is just learned. And it's literally, she said, we train ourselves to not take action if we don't celebrate every action we take. And I have to tell you, it has changed already in my own business. I'm like, oh, well, I took this action with this woman the other day who I know sort of kind of well. And then, you know, we've talked a bit. quite a bit about her family. And then I invited her to take a look at this, and she was like, absolutely flat out no. And I left, and I was like, wow, flat out no. And I really thought about it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to celebrate. And I did. So we have to find like tangible ways to celebrate. Whatever that is for you. Going and buying a new hand cream. I don't know. Like something sweet and little. Doesn't have to be buying yourself something, but something sweet and yummy that really speaks to you. Taking a lovely walk, going for a dip in the lake like you do, Barbara. Like just something that's kind and says, you did it. You go, girl. And she says that a lot, just you go, girl. And she's so supportive of all of us and every little thing we do. It's just fantastic. And of course, there we are, and we pay her a little bit, not much, every month to be part of that. But she responds to every single message, and I'm just blown away. How does she do this? Plus her regular work with everybody. This is a sort of special thing. So I don't know, but if the rest, I told her, if the rest of the course is like this, or I have already, this was worth $1,000 to me. To have this information on the first bit, the first module. She says, you know what? This business is all about action. Got to retrain the brain. So I know we're a little over time, and I know we need to stop, but I really hope this is helpful for you all. Please forgive me for reading. I just didn't want to get it wrong. And I really encourage all of us to take this to heart, that our actions are worth celebrating every time, and the results will come organically, and they will come because we'll be talking to new people and wanting to do that every single day. I'm feeling happy and good about doing that. So I hope that you take it to heart, and that's awesome, and I love it. You create a muscle memory, Connie says, and it never forgets. It's exactly the same. Activity muscles. That's what she called it. Activity, building your activity muscle. And Kathleen, I hope I'm thrilled that's helpful for you. And Super Jill, that's great. So you know what, guys? I love you all, and let's have some real fun with this. And we're going to be on next week together. So maybe this is what we'll talk about. I don't know. Let's see how that is. But I just encourage us, because I've got to tell you, that in all the deep reflection that I do and the deep listening I do on the calls with people like Sonia Stringer, this business is incredible for women if we can get over that ultra sensitivity and taking things personally, and just kind of the heart falling inwards and falling downwards. And I know how that feels. I do, because I'm the same as you. So I think this is just key for us, because we can make more money in network marketing than probably anywhere, unless you're a top CEO and you're going to be burnt to a crisp doing it, which we don't need to be. So we have incredible products that are life-changing. We have an amazing business with a fabulous compensation plan now. It is all in place for us. So I just say, let's celebrate everything and celebrate being on this call today, because you made it to the call and I made it to the call, and yay for us, and yay, let's move forward together, celebrating every single step of the way. And this beautiful bird just came and flew right up in front of me there outside my window. So much love, and we'll talk soon. Next week we'll be on. Please encourage others to get on, and please do share the videos. It's important that these messages get learned and heard, and that we share and become a really powerful community of women together in Nikken, because we rock, and we're at 80% of Nikken's business is us. So let's go out there and celebrate. Love you guys. Take action. Celebration. Woo! I'm in it for the long haul. Woohoo!
Woo! Girls, we rock.
Bye, everyone. Lots of love. Bye.